This year was the first year where I really tried to grow all of our food from scratch, and the start to the year was interesting. So at the moment my main focus is just to try and make everything a lot more efficient, easier, get the equipment that I need, organise things that need organising, so that next year it's not going to be so stressful and hopefully we'll be a lot more successful. First thing I did is sorted out the seed trays, and then I needed to sort out my organisation, so I got a garden journal, planned everything out, and then after that what I needed to do was to sort out the way that I organised my seeds. This year my only organisation was just keeping them all loose in one of those boxes that the mushrooms come in from Lidl, and this worked, but it could be improved, and because everything is getting more expensive right now, I needed this to be a real budget option which was also effective. Given that these are normally just disposed of when people buy mushrooms, it was very cheap to get my hands on. I liked that the ridges hold the little seed packets in line, and also all I had to do because of those little ridges was cut up small pieces of wood. They slotted into those ridges really nicely, and then I just hot glued the sides. Now I'm not going to pretend that this looks like the most elegant solution, but it's very cheap and very effective. Each box is more or less cut up into 4 months: February, March, April, May, June, July, August and September, and then the third one is October, November, and then non-seasonal items and packets that I just need to organise. That non-seasonal section, which I've labelled permanent, that's for things that can grow pretty much at any time of the year, barring the absolute coldest months. And then behind that I put all the seed packets that I still need to organise. Once I've bought a seed packet, what I normally do is use up any of the seeds that I want to use this season, and anything left over, I'll put this in a new packet. And I like to use these brown paper sachets, and these are normally marketed as little money envelopes. They're really cheap. They're normally about 50 pence for 80 or 100. Then I have a permanent marker and a little metal paper clip. And the way that I do this is I take the packet, I'll cut out the picture, cut a little square out of this, and then tape that onto the back. On the front I've got a very simple format. I write the name at the very top, I write the purchase date underneath that, and then going forward any seeds that I save from that plant get added underneath. This way each envelope gets used for years and not just one season. Once all that information is on the envelope, then I put it into whichever category I need to in the trays, and if I have a little bit of time I might do a rough doodle on the back of those envelopes if I don't have a picture to stick down. But for things that I need to plant multiple times throughout the year, for example beetroot, rainbow chard, perpetual spinach, what I'll do is I'll make multiple envelopes of this so that I'm not moving any of these envelopes around and I don't have to think about it. I just reach into the tray and plant everything that's in that section. It's just all the work done initially on one day, and then you don't have to think about it going forward. Like I mentioned before, to make sure that I use these envelopes for as long as possible, every time I save the seeds, for example of calendula, what I'll do is I'll just add that date underneath, and I'll keep doing this, crossing out previous years so that you just keep going down, and you get several seasons worth out of each envelope instead of just one. And while we're on the topic, I'll show you how to collect calendula. This is what it looks like when it's really dry. It shouldn't be green, it should be brown and just crumble in your hands. Take this off, pop it on the table and crush this up into tiny little pieces. And then the seeds of calendula are very weird looking. For starters, they're tiny, and I can best describe them as looking like tiny little woody caterpillars. That's what they look like. All you have to do is pick those out, get maybe 40, 50, 60 of them, depending on how many you grow regularly. I drink these as a tea, so I want them all over my garden, so I need to collect a lot of them. And then once they're all collected, and once I'm 100% sure that they are very dry, then they go into the seed packet. And this is one of the reasons why I prefer the little paper envelopes, because if there is any moisture, that packet breathes. If I do this inside a plastic little bag, and if there's any moisture in there, all those seeds are just going to rot. So this is the main reason why I prefer using just paper envelopes instead of plastic little sachets. If you have any video requests that you'd like me to film, or you want to see videos early, you can find me on Patreon or Contribute. Other than that, I hope you like my videos, and I'll have a new one for you soon.